they can flag you, and they can like not vote for you, so it's like public punishment, but you still got your account, I think.
WordPress doesn't work.
So you make some money if you can like go viral and become popular.
Compatible with
Well, you can on YouTube too, you can, I mean, it's
whatever
But it's a new
thing
platform
is
right now,
now.
so I'm sure like.
I don't know how to
Oh, okay.
Well,
It's
it's
about
years,
years.
it gets
Not
together.
I mean, Wix, there's all these
It's
platforms
traction.
now that
It
you
gets
can
traction.
build it for you, really. They use AI in there, it's called Wix.
But it's kind of cool for if nobody has any altcoins at all,
There's-
they can just get on there and.
I don't think it'll be
slowly-
obsolete, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, will the website itself
I
be able to
bought,
support future?
I bought Nation Bat, basic
Yeah,
attention
WordPress seems like
and they utilize
people have already developed
Brave,
plugins.
which is
like,
browser.
right the
Yeah, I
browser.
just found
throw
out,
one
like,
up
you
now.
guys-
I just
I didn't know anything
figure
about
out
Yeah,
how
they
to
did. I was like,
Sean
wow.
told
post
me
it,
about it.
and
I'm telling him about
it
that.
would look
Oh,
like.
that,
So-
yeah.
And so
Most of these
This is
sites
the
that
new,
keep
right?
he
running
told me about the
across.
browser, right? And he didn't
You
tell
just
me
got
about
this
that.
today?
He was just like,
No,
check
no,
this
no.
browser.
You
blah,
had it?
blah,
I
blah.
had it for a
They'll
while,
pay
I just
you
never
coins.
Oh, okay.
for
I don't know
ads.
much about this.
You know,
I don't know.
and
Very nice.
there isn't
I like it.
anything
It's a
that
good idea.
they
Once you
track
learn
this,
that
but
much.
they're trying to like
Finally,
use different
have a good
algorithms
podcast.
to, you know,
Yeah.
We tried several times. I didn't
provide,
have
just like
it.
a
Oh.
provide
Never-
products or
never-
services that they think
never
you're looking for,
realized or worked
depending
out.
on your.
What was your name again? Josh, Luis.
With that being said,
We need to have Josh do a class on mortgages.
Just, you need to bring it
But,
back.
you know, I can
Just-
give-
I mean,
hey, check this browser
We
down,
were supposed to
use
meet
it.
out Bitcoin, right?
Bitcoin,
But
cool.
I can
But then
yeah.
I do.
Huh?
I can tie it together, 'cause
I mean, I just think that would be very interesting, especially
For
because
them to go on dips and
Yeah.
buy them, obviously.
I've noticed that the Facebook groups that we
Oh,
mentioned, most of the guys
No,
are
no,
young
no,
guys.
they go on dips, meaning the price.
Most of the guys have yet to buy their first home,
That was one of the ones I was
and they
looking
probably
at.
don't understand
You know, and I was like,
what
okay,
all it
yeah,
entails
I
and
was like, okay.
You
I was
know,
like,
nastiness that comes with it.
Like,
Right?
study,
You bought a home?
did the white
Okay.
paper, you know,
It's
did
like
the
I sold it
work on
then,
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Find
It's,
out price
a lot of
on it.
paperwork, that's why I
You know,
Absolutely.
I hate
what's
it.
more,
Now I
it's
can
to
process
it,
that.
I have learned that
I realized that
Have you been
the
reading?
web browser
Friends
is
are.
Bravo.
Well,
That's the one that they
titles and
utilize.
stuff.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they utilize that Brave browser. That's how
Yeah,
they-
Fred's another one of the,
That's how they
I
pay.
guess,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
co-hosts
And so,
for these
you know,
events.
it's kinda
He
like
does the
also-
Friday lunch every Friday at the Quarter Bar on McKinney next to Breadwinners.
I mean, I got like 4 or 5
So
guys.
every Friday we just get together at lunch and everybody grabs a bite and everybody talks about different subjects. Fred's really interesting guy. You like him. He's very knowledgeable, but I think he's actually, he was an attorney, right, at one point?
Yeah.
Or he still is a practicing attorney, but he doesn't practice anymore. He's now completely devoted to the Bitcoin
That blew my
space.
mind. And And you know about the titles. the creators.
Well, because of his background in law, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
like
yeah,
do
yeah.
a co-presentation together with him. Because I think a lot of these guys, as they make money, eventually they're gonna need a home. Unless they're just, millennials are just completely
all
off that.
Yesterday they said that the next biggest thing is going to be mobile homes.
Right?
But that's more for the elderly. But my brother is millennial. He got a mobile home. He's talking about living in it. They are. They just.
Well, it's just a little paradigm shift, right? Like I said, they think differently.
A lot of time to read
So you
and
bring people to your
There's
site.
no,
and you
they
make them
don't.
do something, and you do like
And,
tiny fraction.
They're probably pissed because we
But then they
make
see all the
economy for
ads.
them, right? We're leaving them saddled with all this
You hope they
debt.
click off some of the ads.
Right. It's not
They're
like-
probably mad at
well,
us.
that's
It's like,
the
let's
Philip
screw
market,
that. We're
right?
just gonna move around and we're gonna live in Airbnb.
Well, if you look at how they
Well, it's a mobility versus like
You know those ads you see like looks like really ugly and you wonder what is that? And you-
Lock down, tight down.
this is how you know this stuff will launch, because you see
Yeah, I
that
think
bank
doing
that was
that
it was getting rolled out today that was on there.
Yeah.
Okay, scroll down the pictures. Baby faces.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Right.
They're not.
massive.
Well, they have been
They're-
jaded.
Not jaded, but they're not adopting
Our ways.
our ways of doing
That's
things.
right. That's right.
They are,
They're forming their own.
and they're having the platforms to do it.
conditioning.
And if you,
but only if I had like
you know, if you see a revolution coming,
Yeah.
you know, had traction, like people, you know,
turn around,
Yeah, jump on it.
get in front,
Right.
call it a parade. Let's go. You know,
Right.
it's.
I think Sean's gonna have, like you
You
said,
know, I see the opportunity in it, but for lots of ancillary reasons. But you know, in my space,
Things will be a lot.
if you had asked me 10 years ago, could you do you think something, you know, you could automate?
yeah, but
I
You
do.
know,
But,
maybe.
no way.
It's like,
you know,
Right.
I'm doing
But-
trading just
You know,
as an
because,
additional,
I mean, we're in a
cash.
very-
The,
You know, just
even
like
the
transitional
difficult
planning, you know,
things
just
to
different cash flow, additional cash flow.
automate,
You know, which
being able
My
to read
long-term
people.
goal of-
Right,
other
right,
than-
right.
Cars are already doing it. Your eyes, I mean, they're
Yeah.
so tuned in.
Yeah.
Is
to
business opportunities
everything.
because there's so
Right.
many people,
There's
you
no
know, just
way.
uneducated,
But just,
naive, you know,
so
and
I started because our
I'm just gonna
industry
get 30
is
books as fast as I can.
Sure.
And then, you know,
I started
learn,
exploring,
30 books as fast as I can.
Read 30 books.
Yeah.
developing an application. And so that opened up some, oh, this is what's going on out here.
Right,
And how backwards kind of we've actually been. And that's only what you can see.
Right.
And, you know, it's like, we never catch up doing it like this.
This way. Yeah.
You know, with the AI
I didn't know
thing
this
and,
machine learning.
you know, chatbots and machine learning, I was like,
But it's
I could
cool because, like,
participate
I feel
in
like
the development
there's a certain type of
of
individual that'll come
of that.
these kind of
Yeah.
meetings
because
that'll be
while I might
early
not
adopters
have
and
technical, I know what the street level conversation
Yes.
is like. I can map that conversation
Correct.
in a way that you can't copy FAQs.
Exactly.
So that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Even
And
if
then
I'm
you get to a
doing,
point
you know,
where it's
whatever,
okay,
you know,
it's so hard to learn, just how to
whatever.
learn what you're reading.
You know,
Right.
if
And then,
It's a important concept.
and then programs and codes and what is what.
And sell targets and stuff like that.
It's not feasible. Somebody else will have it done before I get
Really good at
it.
that,
So
right? And so I won't
next thing is I've got to raise money, but I'm bootstrapping. How do I do that with something? I could develop a simple, but nobody wants a simple, right? At least not for what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Even a simple app needs to be something like got teeth. So, I got enough
No straight line to success. It's one of these things.
operating proof of concept to start.
It never goes the way you think.
But I have to raise a, I've got a household. I got
Yeah.
I've got, I can't stop.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
yeah.
when do you do all this other stuff? And boy, when I saw
See it as like
Cut the craven
you
and,
know,
I thought that was a beautiful
I see,
example.
the way that investors are
Piling in.
to get in.
Anything, I can't even eat.
After I saw how smart the people were and who it was, and they weren't saying anything negative. And this was kind of after the first that spike up 2,800 and back
Right.
down, and I was like, that didn't hurt.
Right.
That didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know what happened.
most people would if you weren't following it on
A daily basis.
daily basis.
Like me, I keep them in cold storage. I don't care what happens to the price. Yeah, it's moved. Great. There's cold storage.
Don't even have to buy this. You can just go on YouTube
It shouldn't be
and
like
like, you know,
this.
see them all.
Yeah, I mean that's
Course.
gotta be a wiser way. I've been trying to trade it.
Where I don't, because I can't compete against Sean. He has 24 hours a day to dedicate to that. I got a mortgage and 2 kids.
Yeah, I've tried. It doesn't work because I'll have it going over here. And I've missed a couple. I'm like, dang, I gotta wait for it to come. I'll let that come before I can get
Right.
in position again.
Right.
But the thing is, it's kind of forgiving because it is
Volatile.
reliable. And it's volatile, but it's so bullish that you don't wait.
I don't like the comment.
Right.
But I like the health.
A year, 6 months, or even a week to get
Yeah.
back in. And I think the cycle of how often it's traded.
Yeah.
People don't even want to eat.
I think it's probably
I was when it was just a piece.
You should.
It's just so wide open right now, right? It's just so wide
And
open.
to me, that's a dream because I am a dreamer.
Yeah. Idealist, man.
I'm a creative person, so I'm not good at meetings. I have to have an operator around me. I've
Right.
got to have
Structure, order.
because
That's the key.
I will move on.
Right.
Because I'll see something else that gets me excited, right?
Yeah.
And so after at least I know that about myself. But
Yeah.
Guys are like, everybody's hit. I'm
As far as
like,
like knowledge.
The-
It's like top 3.
Yeah, you gotta-
Credible.
anyhow, it's just this is a perfect
So
place.
anything like
then, you know,
Like,
try to.
I've got to be careful.
You were talking
that I
about
don't
these two.
Get too excited.
get so excited that like I'm not
Then it blinds you.
performing
Yeah,
my
right.
other
yeah.
duties. But
I know he's.
But it's easy to do that, right? I mean, literally, there's guys that get completely enraptured by this. Stop eating. I mean, they're just because it's such a different way to do things, and it opens up like holy cow. I mean, ideas just start flowing, right? You start hearing these things all the time. Apple, Tim Cook just came out this week.
Oh,
Did you hear
yeah,
him?
yeah.
Tim Cook, CEO of Apple.
And it's really quick reading.
We've got all these dollars that are overseas that we're trying to repatriate, right? And I think the administration's talking about maybe a 10% tax, or I think down to 8 point something percent. So just bring the dollars back because we can use them to help rebuild the U.S. Right? Tim Cook said, well, why don't we take it to the next level? Every dollar that gets repatriated back, the tax revenue that comes from that repatriation, use it only on infrastructure. Right? So don't commingle it with the general funds where it goes to fund wars and do all the bullshit. Only for rebuilding your infrastructure. Roads, highways, bridges, whatever. I thought, genius idea. How do you regulate that? How about a decentralized, distributed, completely transparent network where everybody sees exactly what comes in and everybody sees exactly what goes out? Right? How cool would that be? What a great experiment.
it has its place. It has its place, and I think
If you wanna go to a lab.
You have it, like I said, I hate to
government
beat that horse, but you have to-
will have to regulate it. That's the only option. They're not going to ban it.
They just have to be careful how much they regulate it.
And I think
People are always gonna wanna know
Exactly.
what-
See?
this,
That is just.
Whether you're trying to work for them or.
I don't
gorgeous city,
agree with
gorgeous
Now they
city,
ask you to show me
gorgeous
your
city.
GitHub, right? Your-
the
Yeah,
visible Trump.
Right.
You know, I think he's smart.
Yeah.
I think there's more in his head
Right.
that goes on. I just feel like he acts like a clumsy elf.
Yeah.
But
So are we having these once a month or what's the
That's
deal?
how I.
Or we-
they know about
Yeah.
this.
I hope they
gotta
do.
be all over.
I hope they do, but I don't know if they really understand it. They only see what their people tell them what it's about, which is Silk Road, money laundering, terrorist financing. That's what they think it is. You don't think so?
Cryptology when I was
Go look.
That's what I'm building. Even crypto party,
You won't see. I mean, Elon Musk. I mean, these are respected.
Absolutely.
Their opinions are not. They may be ahead of themselves at times.
Yeah.
But I think that for the most part, they're the thought leaders.
Right.
And
That's what we see.
they're not saying.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. The only difference, I think, human nature, right? And when you're sitting at the top, and he and most of his cabinet have always been at the top because they've been billionaires their whole life. So our laws, our way of thinking, that really doesn't apply to them because they've always been above that. You know what I mean? In other words, they have ways of getting things done that we can't because we don't have their capital, we don't have their knowledge base or infrastructure, their way of doing things, right? So the incumbent is always the last to find out when they've been slain. Right? So Blockbuster got done in by a little company called Redbox, right? Who is now being done in by a little company called Netflix, right? Barnes and Noble was outdone by a little company called Amazon, which is now disrupting even Walmart, right? So the incumbent always thinks they have the power until they wake up one day and they don't. Right? And hubris, right, which is the big downfall of every big civilization. Go back to the Roman Empire, right? Hubris, resting on your laurels, all that stuff goes back to Hancho eventually. So if banks aren't careful, right, or the administration's not careful, then all this new stuff that we're experiencing right now is going to bypass us because another jurisdiction is going to be a lot more accommodating and maybe even less
I'm not sure if it was
restrictive.
last month.
Yeah, I mean,
No matter what, I think that's why we're not doing anything.
That sounds
Right.
It's an avalanche. And so nobody's saying anything.
Nobody's gonna be in
on
front of you.
either side.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking a position.
Right.
And I think that
exchange or whatever it is, that's two-factor authenticated.
that to me
You know,
says
whenever you try to log in, you log onto your app on your phone also, it gives you a password.
it's not being ignored.
By a certain amount of-
Right.
They've said, okay, let's play it all out.
Yeah.
big minds, all right, how does this gonna go?
Right.
For real.
So then we can put some guardrails.
Right, so that we can make sure that we come out ahead.
Yes.
Right, in this big
Just
picture.
have
Right.
Because if it's gonna be global, it'll be global.
And that's scary.
And that,
Cool.
you know, but I don't,
Great depression, for sure.
I mean, how many, I mean, everything just keeps
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
Talking about long
All
time.
assets, all
I
assets,
couldn't figure out
right?
what
Stock
was
market,
going on.
housing.
So how do you quantify that again?
And that's
Decades
the
of-
See y'all, thank you for sharing information. Good to meet y'all.
Yeah, same here. Good meal, right?
Yeah.
Have a good one,
That
sir.
wasn't in the
Yes.
market.
Right.
In that way.
Right.
So,
Is
is it
I will.
really,
I will.
Maybe some
I don't
other.
know if we've got a reliable frame of reference. I also don't know that,
Do you have my phone?
that in that up, that they're not siphoning out.
Yeah,
In the
okay,
little,
cool.
those
Yes.
little gas,
I'm
those
down
Yes.
little
Yeah.
gas, right?
I'm down to do that.
The-
Where do they
the-
siphon it to though? Where do you?
The Ethereum one?
Well, the big companies winning.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right, not the
Not the little guy.
retail trader,
Got
right?
it.
Yeah,
You know,
he signed
can't
an executive order
compete
to Americans
with
to
that.
train
Like, I'll
their
lose
gold
trying to
or
make
go to
those,
jail.
and we can't do it
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
Like,
right.
they prohibit you from
Right.
doing the things in the law.
Good one.
And then
Friends,
what
yeah.
happened is
Take care.
overseas, so
There's a lot of things
the
that
US government give
prohibit
us paper, right?
us
And then
from
overseas,
being
they were
able
telling, you know,
Yes,
telling them, hey,
that's right.
if y'all give us
things
the
that
gold,
truly create
then
wealth.
we're gonna
And so
give
the
you
IPOs
more
are an
paper,
example
and
of
they
that.
gave more people
Right.
The,
overseas.
you know,
and
day
people were
trading.
wondering why, and
For a while in the
I
90s,
know.
it was the big thing.
Like, why can't, what's the problem? I can't, I gotta go get an offshore account or
Right.
something,
Countries say, hey, they're
um,
printing more than what.
in order to
gold
do
they
more than a
have.
few trades in a
So
day.
that's
I
what
mean, if I'm doing
he cut it, and what he
some
said,
volume, I've gotta
Right.
swing it. Well, you can't,
temporary.
if you're siphoning all the money out during the middle of a day,
Right.
you're prohibiting me
From
From-
making, yeah.
from taking advantage of the same thing, so I'm at a strategic disadvantage because I can't participate
Right.
in the same siphoning.
Yes.
Right, so my puts suck because I
Right.
can't, because I,
Well, there's no counterparty, right? Number one, they're not allowing you in the
They
game.
have to make.
yeah,
so they have to do
and
this.
to do,
They can't trust
you
third
know,
parties.
the alternative
They don't have the money.
and to,
That's why it's called
play
fractional
the
That's why I like crypto, because
emotions
there's
is,
set
you know,
numbers.
get the
And I
big
know
spike
exactly
up
how
in
much
the
Right.
morning and sell it down, and that is,
The 21 million
um,
is just gonna keep going up because of
you know,
21 million?
that creates the
They'll
same
end at
problem day
2140,
trading,
the last
right?
point,
So
Right.
I believe, will be
there's,
mine,
there's
2140.
strategic
Or maybe 2,100.
disadvantages that this market continues to gain,
Right.
but it's sucking from
16.5
Yeah,
mine,
yeah,
participants that
every
can't
4
fully
years it cuts in
participate.
half, so it's
Right,
less and
right,
less.
right, right.
'Cause
We
I-
know
that-
exactly how much is in circulation. Does that make sense?
I don't know what other people are echoing that message, but, you know, if you work in a financial institution,
Right.
just talking about day trading, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
You,
right.
you can't, you
Oh, trust me,
you
I'm-
can't even smile when somebody says it, you know, and much less give advice or seeming
Right.
to suggest that it's okay to invest.
To invest in this thing,
and-
absolutely.
Yeah, and so,
See all the
you know,
discouraged
people who are
kids
securities licensed are gonna have a hard time with this.
They're at a disadvantage. They're at a disadvantage. Unless the government says it's legal, right?
But now it's in a, you know, this.
Yeah, and so, I don't
And it's
know,
not ready for.
It's
what's
just so new.
happening,
There's
right?
so.
I got
And there's people that want.
truly
to
into
control it,
mortgage
right? Man, right?
after,
And so that's where we're gonna see. it.
so, you know, I started in
I'm just not sure.
a
what's
company
Yeah.
for a few years,
What
and
are the
then
taxes?
I went out on the street,
No,
and
No
there
one
was
is
no,
raising taxes.
after the
Okay, that's what I
crash,
thought.
Yeah.
When-
Oh, nobody's
well,
doing
you
that.
can tell about
and that was tough.
Right.
You know, and then the regulation began to pile on, so I never got to participate in the,
Unfettered stuff.
in the big,
That's why you
huge.
know more
Yeah.
about
Right.
stuff too.
07, 06.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was in it,
Our
but that's when I
review
didn't know how much they were getting paid because I got
8
originally
years.
hired by.
I
Yeah.
mean, probably,
You know,
I probably should bring a recorder.
I was kind of
I know I
sheltered
can remember all this
in
stuff,
their,
just
in their
start
model.
talking.
but,
I'll
The-
write
You
it.
know, you
I'll
can
figure it
make
out.
a recording and sell it.
I know.
you know,
I
I
know who your first
witnessed
customer would be.
the timing
All right, we're real
of
good, thank you.
a
thank you.
regulated
Appreciate
industry,
your time.
or not regulated
Right.
industry.
Good job.
getting
Regulated.
over-
Oh, really
regulated-
regulated.
So
and
it's
overregulated.
supposed to start at
And the-
6:30,
and the
not
other
5:30.
of it,
Yeah,
you know.
Okay.
I'm out.
I don't know, I can't find
Good to see you again, sir.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is?
Go
Like
back.
5 minutes.
Your trade door in there?
No. I actually,
Maybe it was.
I've got a copy
coming because I stored one away in Mexico just in case I have to run. You never know.
Yeah.
It's always there. And
I'll send you a link for the POSW one. It's just a special edition and it's a ledger.
really?
Yeah, dude.
What does it come with?
Nice
Great to
meeting
meet you, sir. Yes,
No,
thank
it
you.
just has their logo on it, and they teamed up a ledger to manufacture. So that's why I believe in the project, you know, because it's got some, you know,